the journey of really honoring that space and allowing it to nourish us, trusting its timeline. It's different every time this cycle comes, and really knowing that whilst resting here, we are gathering all of the wisdom, all of the insights, all of the tools that we will need to move forward at the exact time that our creation and creative project is to be birthed, just like a birthing mother. Welcome to the Embodied Woman podcast with me, Rebecca Wilson. An embodied experiential space for you to drop deep into the wealth of wisdom within your being and activate a fuller, richer you. I am a feminine awakener, thought leader, embodied business doula, sacred business midwife, healer, and all-round medicine woman. I am here to guide women deeper into their essence and power, to activate their life force, awaken pleasure, and support them to live an embodied life. I will help you birth your visions, dreams, creations, desires, and sacred business into the world from an easeful, embodied, and rooted place within. My work supports women to become more available for life, love, relationship, connection, creation, pleasure, and wealth. I will activate you into self-leadership and self-mastery to truly live an embodied and awakened life. Welcome on the journey, my love. Hey, gorgeous. Welcome. So beautiful to have you here. So today's episode intends to be short and sweet. We'll see how it unfolds. I really wanted to arrive into this space and share and speak into the cycles of energy, and within that, the cycles of creation that exist within life and therefore within our creative aspects and our business and our leadership. And I really felt inspired to speak into this, as this is something that I have moved through most of my life. Upon reflection, I recognize that, and looking back is a beautiful thing. I have always existed in these cycles of external or outward expression, and within that, the opposite of internal and inner resting and restoration. And that has pretty much played out in all of my careers, in all of my work. I very much have worked from an early age in cyclical businesses, in expressions of work that were seasonal, that required fuller care and attention at certain points in the year, and at other times were much quieter. And I've always worked within the realm of creation and creativity. I first started actually in my career as a dance teacher, and we would work teaching classes to the younger students in my dance school. And that would be a very cyclical thing, as we would have more space at certain times of the year off. And then that quickly moved into a long-standing career I had as a bridal hair and makeup artist, where when I began that career anyway, it was very seasonal, and I would work from spring through to early autumn and then have a really spacious winter. And upon reflection, as I said, I naturally kind of dropped into recognizing how, choosing these pathways on these jobs or career paths that I had way, way, way back. We're talking 10, 12 years ago plus. I was teaching as a teenager, so very, very long time ago. But just understanding that some part of me was or has always been connected into the cyclical nature of my being, and therefore naturally gravitated towards work and in that my creativity from a place of season, of cycle, and in turn an honoring of the cyclical essence of my being. Never worked in a space in which I've needed to show up 9 to 5 or in a very rigid patterning of shifts or anything like that. Nothing corporate. It very much did not align for me and was just not something that I naturally gravitated towards. And that kind of makes perfect sense for me. And possibly why this wisdom is held so deeply inside of me, because it's just very much part of my nature and my essence. And here within the work that I offer the world now, within my sacred business and supporting women in their awakening, in their healing, in their cellular restoration and birthing themselves, their projects, children, businesses into the world. I too exist in this patterning, in these cycles of creation. And very often I will go really deep into my own world and my private space, my inner sanctuary, and be resting in a space of reflection and contemplation, possibly also a release and letting go of a period or a season that I've just been in, and rest in the dark depths of my inner being, which I often feel and sense is like this energy of winter. It doesn't always come when winter in the external season arrives, because we move in different rhythms. And from that space, I always find that new creativity is activated and awakened. That felt sense of spring is on its way, but first I must rest. And very often this space, and I know that from speaking to so many women and guiding and supporting them when they're living in this space, which we can often describe as the void or a space of unknown or darkness or fear can live here. I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do next? A sense of wanting to grasp. But it is truly that allowing of ourselves to come into that space of darkness or void or winter, to lay the land and let the land settle, and the creative swell to soften, that we give space for new to be born. And then surely, as always, spring comes once again, and those seeds are sown and they grow from the dark soils inside of our creative parts of ourself, in our mind, our brain, our hearts, our bellies, our wombs, our bodies, wherever it is that they are ignited within and birthed through and from. And the seed gets planted and we water and nurture the creation, and it grows and it's born and it's here out in the world. And I'm sharing this from a recent place of really resting in that inner void myself. I had been feeling for some time that something new was wanting to be born through me. And at times I have been meeting this feeling with some resistance, and that's okay, because everything seemingly was working really well in the outside world. I was loving, as always, my work and my sharings and my teachings, loving supporting the women that are in my world and constantly welcoming new women in. But I could feel this undercurrent of newness wanting to arrive. I had no idea at all what that could be. And very often in the past, I've had little insights or inklings of energy kind of rise up. And at times they've been here for me in this cycle. But I've also noticed a needing for something to be there for me to grasp or hold on to, rather than just a complete allowance. And, I'm human. It's all good. So I have just rested in a real space of allowing, trusting the unfolding of life and creative energy. And within that, there has surely been a birth point of something new, which I am not fully ready to share just yet, but it will be with you very soon. I just wanted to really drop into the essence of that place and these cycles of creation that we go through. And very often when we can feel lost or disconnected from our work, our creativity, our message, what it is that we're sharing with the world, we can make it mean something about ourselves. We can make it mean that we don't know what we're doing, we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we shouldn't be doing what we're doing, the work we're doing, we have to stop. A sense of feeling lost or frustrated, or angry, or deep grief can rise. And these cycles of creation always come in all their forms, I believe, because there is sweet medicine in it all. And this is the time of deep potency. And if we are able to create enough space within ourselves to reframe this void space, or the space where nothing feels to exist, and recognize it as the most potent and fertile space there is. Because once the seed of inspiration arrives, we move pretty fast into action. And before you know it, we're at the full swell of a pregnant belly, so to speak. And the creation is alive within us and ready to be born in the world. And then we're in action. We're birthing, we're sharing, we're launching, we're welcoming people into our world. We're gathering community. We're offering our services, our products, our retreats, immersions, whatever it is that we offer to the world. And we're in that outward expression in a really big way. And that's so beautiful. But often, if we haven't really given ourselves to that void time, when we do step into the sharing, the birthing, and the launching of the new project, it can feel ungrounded, and it can also feel like potentially a burning out. And we lose the felt sense of the potency of allowing the creation to brew and to grow and to truly arrive with us in that fallow state, in the void, in the inner winter. The journey of really honoring that space and allowing it to nourish us, trusting its timeline. It's different every time this cycle comes. And really knowing that whilst resting here, we are gathering all of the wisdom, all of the insights, all of the tools that we will need to move forward at the exact time that our creation and creative project is to be birthed, just like a birthing mother. These things are always left up to divine intervention. And this is a space that I really love supporting women in, when they are resting in the unknown and unraveling some parts of themselves and the conditions within to create more space to birth something that's more deep or aligned with their message, their brand, their vision, their why. And to do so from a grounded and embodied place. This honoring of the cycles of creation is also a deep honoring and reverence of the body and her need to live in the expression of cyclical energy, and a deep honoring of the nervous system, which also needs time of rest and integration to allow the lessons and the wisdom of the cycle and the season that's just passed to truly integrate in, so that our capacity to be with more of ourselves and life is there, available and anchored in a resourced way. So this is the journey that we will explore in Embodied Business. And we have a final live round of this immersion online in September. Embodied Business Mastermind is a 6-week journey where we dive into awakening the body, exploring your message, becoming the embodiment of your message, your brand, deepening into your why, expanding your body and your nervous system and your capacity to hold more visibility, more reach, more growth, more wealth. Exploring our habitual patterns in our nervous system and how we can honor and support our nervous system and body throughout our business and leadership and throughout these cycles of creation. And what it means to be an embodied leader and to truly lead from your essence, which is feminine and cyclical. How do we honor ourselves fully whilst also showing up fully and give ourselves completely to these cycles of creation that are constantly weaving their way through all of existence? If you are feeling the call to join us for this final round of this online immersion, this mastermind, all the details are linked in the show notes of this episode. You can also find me on Instagram, which is at Rebecca_Wilson_. And you can sign up to our mail list where you will receive all the information of this and other offerings that we have, along with monthly musings and shares from me and my world and what I get up to. If you click the link in the show notes, which is highlighted, Embodied Business Masterclass, you will receive your gifted Embodied Business Masterclass and practice series for you to dive into this work and truly explore what it is we'll be awakening into in the Embodied Business Mastermind. Thank you for being here, my love. Sending you all the love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you loved this musing and sharing, I would love for you to share this episode far and wide. You can arrive into all of my offerings at rebecca-wilson.com. Links to dive deeper with me are in the episode notes. Remember, my love, you are here to be the fullest, most potent, powerful, embodied version of you. I am here to guide you into that. Hey, love. I'm dropping in here to welcome you to join us in our online community membership, The Village. I created this space for women to gather, to return to themselves, to deepen the connection and the relationship with self, whilst held in a community of like-minded women walking the journey and the path of their own awakening.